Guys, I've got something very old for you today. Let's see. This old machine is called Peugeot Boston, and I'm doing the full restoration except for the painting. This is so cool. As you can see, the beautiful shaping and beautiful welds were not necessarily developed in the 21st century. It was much earlier. Even before doing the inspection, I need to check whether I have all the parts for this project. Let's see what we've got here. And the back is almost complete. We've got here the Shimano derailleur DX components. Any one of you had these components? My friend had the DX brakes on his steel mongoose. I remember that. We don't have the chain, we don't have the cassette, and the chain rings also should be replaced. I need to get those. This is impossible. You can barely see Shimano sign here on the derailleur. And here is our remake. I don't think it was the oil, it was the grease that was accumulating on all those parts and the anodized parts, aluminum parts of these components for years or maybe decades. You can watch me closely as I'm doing it, and in one place I have swapped two little screws, one for the cage and the second one for the B-gap adjustment. I do highly recommend, as always to you my friends, to film with your phone the whole disassemble process, because it will make so much easier for you to put all these parts back. And here's my new purchase. I purchased this set with the screwdriver and those bits for the precision work, which is amazing. It makes miracles when disassembling, for example, the road shifter or these parts. This detailing had three phases. The first one was hand wash in the degreaser, the second one was the tumbler, and all the parts were just being shaken in the tumbler for 20 plus hours, and the third one, steam cleaner. It turned out beautifully. After 20 hours. Whoa! Like a new one. Yeah, the tumbler is a bit too small, but it does the job with the tiny parts. And now I'm preparing all the brakes and other small parts for the next episode of this series. You've been seeing me using the steam cleaner for about 2 years now, and it does the job. In this case, it will first of all neutralize the acidic liquid that I add to the water in the tumbler, but also it gets to all those corners, it gets to the springs and inside of the derailleur in this case, where the tumbler wouldn't get. I love it. And yeah, after working on some part for a couple of seconds, it gets hot. So when I was just trying to show you the effect, it wasn't really easy, but I like the effect. No, the derailleur will not look exactly as new because there are still some tiny bits inside the derailleur where I couldn't get. I'm finding the way to do it in the future, but you know, I'm editing the film, so you will see the nice parts. I'm joking. The seals on those pulleys look like they have melted a little bit, so they have to be replaced. The pulleys also. One of the reasons I love my job is this moment, before and after. Before and after. It is now time to grease and assemble all the parts. You will see the moment when I do it incorrectly, and then we're gonna fix it, so follow it closely. Yeah, the studio is far from being finished. The springs. There are two larger springs on the rear derailleur. One will put the tension on the chain through the cage, and the second one is actually putting the body of the derailleur in the right position. You won't have any problems recognizing which is which. Just put it into place, and if it fits, that's the one. And here's the important thing for this model at this moment. When you're at this moment, remember to put the B-gap screw first before assembling the spring. Because when you assemble it first, as I do, you will have difficulties putting that B-gap screw later on. So do it first and then assemble the spring. Believe me, it's important. That's why my thumb is still hurting after 2 days. And right now I'm very happy to use the B-gap screw for assembling the cage. Remember, the screw for assembling the cage is much shorter. So this is the wrong one, and I'm gonna do it correct right now. Yeah! Gotcha. And now, the derailleur has two pulleys or jockey wheels, the upper one and the lower one. The upper one will often be marked as U for upper or G for guide pulley, because this one is the guide pulley and the lower one is the tension pulley. The guide pulley, hold on a second, this is the upper one or the upper pulley, the guide pulley. This is the tension pulley. This one will guide the chain through the cassette. It's a good idea, or I should even say it's recommended, to put the thread lock on these two little bolts because you don't use a lot of force on them and you don't want to lose your jockey wheels, right? Now you can just follow a couple of little parts to be put together on this episode, and in the next episode of this 3-part series we're going to put the drivetrain and the brakes on the frame set, and then in the third one the frame set, the wheels and the cockpit, and we'll be done. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.